A new play about the Rogers family empire has landed at the Crows Theatre in Toronto, based on the book by Alexandra Posadsky. Rogers v. Rogers explores the family dynamics that played out after the death of communications patriarch Ted Rogers during a major acquisition of Shaw Communications. Here to talk about the play is the playwright, Michael Healey. Michael, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
An interesting idea looking at business, but this is more than business. This is business and family, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the thing that's so compelling about Alexandra's book is that, the Rogers family has such a curated public face mostly. And this was an opportunity to see their family dynamics happening in public, through Martha's Twitter feed and also eventually through, court filings. So this was a real opportunity to look at the folks that are kind of running our lives to some extent in a kind of unguarded way.
So it's Paul Harris here. So has the Rogers family come and seen the play, or have they spoken to you about it?
We've had a few previews. We're opening on Wednesday night. Nobody from the Rogers family has come yet. Everybody's welcome to buy a ticket and come see the show. But honestly, if you're interested in the facts, you want to read Alexandra's book. Because I'm creating a piece of art that's based on her facts, and I'm kind of after larger questions here, questions about competition policy in the country and things like that. So I think if you come looking just for a documentary, as somebody from the Rogers family they might be a little frustrated.
And what are your concerns? You're talking about competition policy. When you read the book and now you're putting this play together, what were some of the concerns you tried to address?
So I wanted to look at, the dynamics of the Rogers family, really just a vehicle for me to examine the Rogers-Shaw merger and use that as a kind of vehicle to discuss corporate concentration in the country, these oligopolies that seem to run things in telecom, on the airline side, and in grocery as well. And so the questions that I want to look at are, what are the barriers to entry for new telecom companies in this country? Why is your cell phone bill so high? Why is customer service so frustrating across all of the incumbents? All of the things that we kind of privately are curious about or angry about, and rarely get to discuss in public.
So you did another play called Master Plan, I guess, which dealt with the Alphabet Group. Is that where you feel this kind of mixture between art and business and putting those things together? Is that something that's been a part of your life, or why does this so interest you so much?
Well, I think in both cases, there are public servants kind of at the center of these stories who are attempting to do hard things and getting kind of frustrated. And that frustration being thwarted makes for great comedy. It makes for great drama. In the case of the Master Plan, we've got people at Waterfront Toronto who are trying to do a hard thing, on the waterfront in terms of building sustainable housing. And in this case, we've got Matthew Boswell, the Competition Commissioner of Canada, who is bound and determined to stop the merger of Rogers and Shaw, even though the Competition Commission has never been able to fully block the merger of two companies in history. So he's attempting to do a hard thing here. It drives him nearly crazy that he's unable to do it. And that makes for good entertainment.
And you do look at the business side, and that's a big focus for you. But do you get into the people as well who are involved in this? And what's it like this is a one-man show. What's it like just having one person play the different personalities?
Well, the interesting thing about this story that I realized, pretty early on, is that Edward Rogers is attempting to do something kind of way outside his comfort zone, which is take over his father's company. And Matthew Boswell is attempting to do this thing that's also very hard, which is to block this merger. And so here are two guys who are kind of operating way out over their skis, trying to do a hard thing, one in his own self-interest and one in the public interest. And the parallel between their two dilemmas made me realize that if they were embodied in one actor, then we could have something, a kind of fun energy, a kind of fun dynamic created on stage.
And that you feel that's coming together. Is there a sequel in the works, or what's your next focus? I know we don't want to get ahead. We don't want to get over our skis too much, but
right.
What's next for you? What do you see yourself tackling?
Well, it's really up to, my last two books, or my last two plays, have been based on Globe and Mail reporters' business books. So I'm just going to wait around until somebody at the Globe and Mail writes another entertaining book, and then I'll take a stab at it.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Michael Healey is playwright of Rogers v. Rogers.